I'm Darin Grossi, and I'm about to be interviewed by Bobby Fazio.
Still here at the 2022 NHRA Finals in Pomona, still checking out those beautiful stock and super stock cars. Never seen so many gorgeous Plymouths and Dodges. The Chrysler, the Mopar brand is just like killer around here, and I really love it. So we're gonna do another one here, B-stock automatic car, 1964 Plymouth Fury, driven by Mr. Darin Grossi. Darin, how you doing?
Doing great, Bobby.
All right, Darin, so tell us a little bit about your, there's the 426 Max Wedge car. What's the advertised horsepower and what's it rated at?
Okay, this is the 64 426 Max Wedge. I'm running right now the low compression version, which is 11-to-1. It was rated from the factory at 415 horse. NHRA's got it at 403. I also have a high compression motor that was rated from the factory at 425, and NHRA has that at 421. Stevie's freshening that motor up right now. Steve Wann's my engine builder and crew chief.
All right, so Steve Wann is based out of California. You live in California.
Yep.
He's a big name, even on the East Coast, you know.
Yeah, he's got good customers.
Absolutely, he builds some good stuff, so.
Stevie's out of Modesto, and I live about 45 minutes away in a little town called Copperopolis.
Copperopolis.
That's right.
Now you're running the steel head, no aluminum head or aftermarket replacement for you, it looks like.
All original stuff. Got the dual 750s on there that came from the factory.
And that manifold is the cross ram manifold.
Stage 3 cross ram.
Yeah.
It's a challenge to tune with, but I've figured a few things out over the last few years with the race pack's help.
Now these cars don't have a battery up in the front end. They came with batteries in the trunk.
That's right. You'll see 2 batteries in the trunk.
That is great. You don't have to run that weight up in the nose of the car. Now this car you got off the East Coast?
Well, Stevie Wann bought this car and some other parts from Jeff Bardekoff when they were getting out of stock and super stock. And he brought it out west and campaigned it for about a year. And I had taken about 14 years off to put my kids through college. And once they were through college and paying all their own bills, I had the itch. I came out and watched my brother's race here at the, I think it was the World Finals. And I saw the car and fell in love with it and called my wife and told her I think I'm buying a race car.
What was her response?
She said, you realize you don't have a trailer or a pickup, right? And I said, yeah. And she goes, you realize we just moved into a house in a golf course community that really doesn't like race cars. You just sold the house with the big shop. Yeah, we'll work it all out. So we've worked it out.
Yeah, what's the resolution? What do you do? Where do you leave the stuff?
I have a good friend, Dave Schmitz. I used to drive for him. He had a 70 Barracuda that we campaigned for a lot of years. Badass car, 440 6-pack car. We did really well in that car. He's in Modesto by Stevie. He keeps my trailer there. Keep the RV at an RV lot. So it kind of works. It's just always having to shuffle things around.
That can get tiring sometimes, can it?
Yeah, but we're figuring it out.
Yep. All right, so let's take a look inside the car. Now, is this an original numbers matching car?
This is not. It's a clone, I guess you could say.
Okay. Very rare that we see. Once in a while, you'll see somebody out running stock Eliminator with a numbers matching car, and it's always cool to see. This is a very cool car. Look at the factory knobs there. You got a switch there in the center. What's that switch for? That toggle.
By the race pack?
Yeah,
the
right
long
there.
toggle.
Yeah, the long toggle.
That's my timing retard switch.
Oh, okay.
So most of the time I run the timing out. If I want to go fast, I flip it up, I go fast.
Oh, I like that. Flip of a button.
Makes it easy.
And what kind of transmission?
It's a Pro Trans.
Big name around these parts.
Yeah, it's the only way to go.
And torque converter.
I think it's PTM or something. I'm not really sure anymore.
Okay.
It's been around. It's a Stevie leftover, probably. I get a lot of parts from Stevie that have worked, but he's moved on, so he keeps things affordable for me.
Well, what kind of Pro Trans builds it? Is it a 727?
I think it's a 727 that's warmed over.
Okay. Now these, I learned this week, these Furies had this
Little crease.
very aerodynamic, I was told, and Richard Petty took advantage of that when he was racing NASCAR. Learned that from Darcy Clark. What kind of rear is in this car?
We just put a Dana in it. It's a strange Mosier Dana. We broke the 8 3/4 at Las Vegas about 8-9 months ago. And we like to run a lot of weight in it. With all the weight and the power is just too much for the 8 3/4.
And what are you with
right
this?
Now with the low compression, my minimum is 3590.
And the B stock automatic index is 1125. So how have you been running this weekend?
I ran 1120 a couple different times.
All right, and then
105 under, 104 under.
Yeah, that's fast. So you ran 1020. What kind of mile an hour?
Ran 129.
129. Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay. So it looks like you have super stock letters on the window, so you can switch back and forth between stock and super stock?
When I first started coming back to racing, you want me to open the trunk?
Sure.
There's a little bit of mess in there, but
it's all right.
When I came back to drag racing after the hiatus, I couldn't get in a lot of national events in the first year. So I put in super stock, and I was able to run a couple tenths under the index.
So 2 16-volt batteries. The Aeromotive pump looks like about a 5-gallon fuel cell.
Yep.
Big trunk, lots of room.
You can tell this was the ideal car to sneak people into the movie theater back in the day.
Now, what's going on right here?
It's like a Perco switch or something where, you check the voltage on one battery. And flip it off here, and it tells me one battery is 17.3. The digit's not working, or the other one's 17.3 also. And
right.
I just generally run it with both batteries activated.
Oh, excellent.
Pretty simple, but nice and clean. The Bardekoff, I think it's an ATE race car. They did a great job putting it together. It's just such a solid car in every way. Nice and straight, never spins, hooks up. Probably the easiest car to dial that I've ever had. I mean, it's very easy to run your number in this car. Got Calvert traction bars.
Caltrax, now in stock Eliminator, well, in stock and super stock. Shocks must retain factory mounts, and you can't do a whole lot back there in either class. You can switch
it's a long
coilovers
wheelbase, so I don't need a wheelie
stock.
bar. So.
Oh, yeah, I noticed. No wheelie bar.
Yep. It just lifts them up about a foot or two and carries it a little while, depending on how much timing I got in it.
And they have a very big back end, so
yeah,
a lot of
it just
overhang.
keeps on going. I mean, look how big this section is here. It's unreal.
Now, have you put the car on scales to see how much weight's on the nose versus how much weight is on the back? Because I'm curious with one of these cars.
I haven't done that. I haven't done that.
Well, it doesn't sound like you have to because the car's not spinning and it's going straight. So
yeah, other than maybe a test and tune in the middle of the winter at Sacramento Raceway where it's 40 degrees and the sea level is like minus 600, I don't really have to worry about spinning anywhere other than that place.
What kind of RPM does the car turn?
About 7,000 through the light, 7,200.
What do you launch at?
Generally about 3 to 33, somewhere in there, depending on what kind of light I'm trying to get.
And then what do you shift in?
I shift to 68 and 7.
Pretty good.
Yeah, not too bad.
Yeah,
not too bad.
That's why we love stock Eliminator. So in stock, we have to run OEM cam lift. What is the cam lift?
525, which is pretty solid, from the factory. A lot of the big block, high performance stuff, Chevy and Ford and Mopar all came around 525 back in those days.
Yeah, so that is pretty tall. A lot taller than the stuff I have to run on the in the small block Ford. So, all right, Darin, you're going into second round.
Going into second round.
How'd first round pan out? What happened?
Well, it went just, I didn't, with nothing pretty, but I went out there and raced Joe Sorensen. Joe had his usual 30-something light, as he always does. I was a little tardy, but I was able to push him out. I broke out by 1, he broke out by 2.
All right, so second round is tomorrow. Who do you have to go against?
May Holt, I think her name.
Sheila Holt.
Okay.
So she's got the stick shift.
I haven't met her before, but she's got
Chevy
a nice operation.
Yes, they do. They were just featured in driver interviews.
How about that?
It'll be a driver interview showdown tomorrow. We'll see which episode will play at the end of tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll
Right.
see.
All right, Darin, good luck to you the rest of the weekend. Thanks for joining us, and we love your car. Can't wait to see you out there tomorrow. We'll have the camera in the car for the round.
Sounds awesome. Thank you.